Gabby, you're homeless here in Miami, sleeping on the sidewalk here. I asked you why here, and you said this is the only safe place.
Yes.
Explain that.
Well, I guess it's the only place I've ever been homeless, and the first time I've ever been homeless. So I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me, but in my personal experience, I'll say there's a lot of drugs. I see a lot of drug use, and I don't want to be around it. So the safest place for me is somewhere where people are working nearby, people are passing frequently, it's well lit, and I'm next to a police station. Literally, Miami Police Department is a block away. So as a woman, it's very tough out here. As a woman like yourself, it's very tough out here. And there's just a lot of people that want you to do drugs. There's a lot. You deal with even sitting here in a safe place, in passing, people still can be a little bit more dangerous than you want it to be.
Well, homelessness sucks. It's hard to do homelessness sober, and people are escaping pain.
Yes, and a lot of homelessness is caused by lack of sobriety.
Well, actually, there's data that a lot of homeless people end up outside because they lose their job, get evicted, and we'll get into your story in a second. And then when they're out here, they start using drugs, and then
downhill spiral.
It's a nosedive.
Yeah.
But what I've always been very interested in is why some homeless people choose to live like right next to a road, because it's got to be hard to sleep, and the reason is they feel safe.
It's true. I would rather be where if something happens, I can say, oh my gosh, and someone passing will stop.
Right.
Particularly here in Miami, people are really, really helpful and will stop in their cars and say, are you okay? Do you need anything? Are you thirsty? Are you all right? And daily I have people just ask me, like, are you doing okay today? Just even for your morale, it's safer. Literally, where the majority of people are staying is like a block behind here and this way underneath the overpasses. And that's the most dangerous that it gets. If you are asleep under an overpass or in any place like alleyways, overpass, places where you cannot exit or call for help, is where you don't want to be as male or female at any age.
When I was outside, now I wasn't outside here, I was outside in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And there's no book, Homeless 101.
Right.
But I just, there was areas where everybody slept.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel comfortable.
Right.
I preferred to stay by myself.
And I've always been the same. And I don't want to say always, I get to habit, but I just automatically was kind of like, I felt safer. There's no way to really describe it. I felt safer by myself too. Initially, I got out here. I was told to come downtown. I finally did. I was in further north and was downtown, inching downtown as I had to come. I didn't want to come all the way down here because I was nervous. I was scared. And then I felt exactly the same way. I said, I'm going to do better without the pressure, without being surrounded. And the more surrounded you are by people, the more you're going to see the drugs, the more you're going to see the prostitution, the more you're going to see the theft. And then there's a lot of, argumentativeness and things that go on when there's alcohol and when there's substance abuse.
Well, what's interesting, so you got all these high rises here.
Yeah.
And you have the drugs and the violence and the domestic violence and the alcohol in them too.
That's true.
You just don't see it because there's walls.
That is very, very true.
Right?
And I tell people that even more so, no matter where you go, that's one thing I've learned being out here is people's professions don't matter. What they drive, where they work, it doesn't matter. People are all doing the same things. People are doing the same things. Maybe not to the same degrees, but there's nobody better than anyone. It's a humbling situation, but within that humbleness, you do see that you're not alone. You're not.
So you're gonna have to speak up because we got planes and cars.
Yeah. I'm soft-spoken. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. You're wonderful. So how'd you end up here?
From Atlanta, it was spur of the moment. I was like, where can I go that I've never been? I've been through northern Florida before, but I'd never come all the way down to South Beach ever. So I said, where can I go where I've never been? It's going to be completely different, and I wanted to just start over everything. I have no family left in Atlanta. I lost my father to heart failure, sudden heart failure. I lost my mom through 20 years of complete kidney failure. So when I was finished taking care of everybody, I said, what can I do for me that won't remind me of anything I know? Miami. So I came, and I was here about a week off of 7th Street. And I said, I'm going to get on the trolley, look around, and acclimate a bit. So I did that. And I said, I really like it here. I really, really like it here legitimately. And I just have to get a job. I have to get a job. I just need a check, and I'll be so happy here. It's so clean. The people are so friendly. So I wanted to stay. And I did exactly that. I was eating. I came here with a little bit of money. I worked before I got here. I wasn't homeless before I got here. So I came with a little money. I was eating in a Taco Bell. And they had a sign that said, we will interview you right now. We have our general manager here in-house all the time. And so if you want to talk to somebody, we'll talk to you right now. So I was like, that's crazy. Okay. So I said, if you guys need help, I'll help you guys. I have like 26 years kitchen experience. I'll start anywhere you want to start me at. And I'll start whenever I'm to. And as you can see, I'm here every day. You know, my scheduling is not an issue. And they said, come on. And they bought half my uniform for me. I needed black pants. I didn't have black pants. What happened was, I had a duffel bag and I was hiding it. And I got that the day I did my interview, I got back to where I was hiding it and it was gone. So I thought that I was gonna have what I needed for my uniform, and I didn't. So who hired me, interestingly enough, was my HR. The lady who was my HR, Bethia, ended up hiring me. So I come to Bethia and I'm like, they took everything. I don't have my uniform. I don't have anything anymore. I don't know what I can do. I don't know if I can start. And it made her cry. And so she went and got me my uniform. So I was there for about a year, and it was a little bit stressful because we were understaffed.
Well, working fast food is stressful.
It is. Right? It is. Kitchens, period, stressful. Working directly with people, period, stressful. Yeah. And we were in a very busy area right next to the airport. And
was it enough to pay for an apartment?
It really was. But this is the mistake that I made.
Because you said you had a roommate from hell.
She was diabla. So they started me. I was so happy at like $13.50 on my application. I was used to making when I worked near Hartsfield Airport at the first Chick-fil-A there ever was, and I was only making $8.50 plus tips. As a waitress, I was only making $8.50 plus tips. So, and I was doing to-go, running food, busing, and waitressing. So $8.50 for that plus tips. So I got here and I said, well, I don't care. I'll start at $8.50. At beggars can't be choosers. Okay.
Right.
He gave me $13.50. So I was excited. So that got me in the hours I was working from, I would get in there at like 6 p.m., start my shift around 7 or 8, and then leave at 6 a.m. too, because I stay all night. I was working the night shift, clean the kitchen before you leave, and then you go home. Yeah. So I was working very long hours too. So the pay plus the hours, I made very good money. So I was working with the lady who said to me after a month, just come live with me. I have my own place. I have another room. You're gonna have your own room. So I heard my own room, and then this lady works with me. Yeah. She was about going on 60. So I said, there can't be any problem with this. You know, she's too old to start drama. Right, we work together. We work the same shift.
So you rented a room.
Yes. So I was paying her $850 a month
for one room.
But when I get there, I have no kitchen, no cocina, no baño. I didn't have the bathroom. I had to share with her.
Right.
And then the kitchen, I could not use. She told me, she said before I got there, I have 6 cats. I said, I love cats. I love animals. I love cats. That's fine. I said, I'm a cat person. I'm going to try to like abduct one as my little baby too. Yeah. You know. So and one did. But it was just too much. She didn't tell me she had a blind dog also. But all of her animals, since she didn't even cook, were using the kitchen on the linoleum. Paper on the linoleum is the bathroom. There was a cat in the fridge one day. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So I started trying to bargain with her. You know, I was a peer mediator in middle school, so I was trying to be,
So
you know.
this was the roommate from hell?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I tried to get her
I
down.
can see where this is going.
Yes. It was very, very uncleanly. I was paying her too much. I had no kitchen or bathroom. I was trying to debate with her to get her down to like at least to the least 600, because I know you want to make something for yourself. I found out that she was not paying for her rent. Her son was paying her rent. She had disability check, and then I was, because she had a catheter. So then I'm paying her $850. She's just blowing it.
Yeah.
Then we work together. She's a dishwasher, and I'm food running and doing all this other stuff. She quits 2 weeks after I get hired. Now I'm doing her job too.
Oh, so you worked in the same place
Yes.
too? Oh, that made it worse.
It did.
So anyways, you ended up homeless.
Yes, I couldn't stay with her. She wouldn't change the rent. So I'm like, well, I'm bullheaded. I said, I'm leaving. At least I'm working. I'll just find a place to stay, because before I went with her, I picked out an apartment, but I thought I could, you know, stay with somebody immediately faster than trying to get my credit checked and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I'm going to go. I'm still working. I'll save it again. I'll do it again. I'll go get an apartment. I'll do it again. But in the amount of time it took me to do that, I could not sleep in that area. So they had to tell me, you have to come downtown, you have to go where there's assistance, you have to do this and that. I ended up trying to get into shelters for months and months and months, and it's not what it's cracked up to be.
So you were homeless and still tried to keep your job?
Yes. I was homeless and working for
tough.
several years. Yeah, there were nights where I get off my shift and didn't leave the restaurant. They said, if you stay in uniform, you can sleep here.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. They're wanting workers.
Well, you know what? It wasn't necessarily that. It was just the fact that I was a really hard worker. One, they didn't want to lose me.
Yeah,
no one else would take my shift.
Right.
No one else would take their shit or my shift.
Right.
So they were like, okay, we'll try to accommodate you.
Right.
And then they knew, it was dangerous. I had wonderful people that I work with that really were like sentimentally involved with me. Like, we don't want you to have to sleep out there. We don't like that. Anyway, they knew the situation with my roommate, and they knew that she was crazy. They couldn't tell me before I went. So they knew. They didn't bet on it either.
So you're in pretty good spirits. Now, how long have you been out here?
I try to stay in spirits. It's my religion to stay in a good spirit. That's all you can do. That's all you can do to create any more opportunities for yourself, is keep a good spirit. So currently, I got out to 2nd and 2nd Street, and I've been staying right here.
We got a jet going over. We don't edit this. It's your story, raw and unedited. So. Okay, so you're out here and you're in good spirits.
Yes, I've been here since March. I came from 17th and 18th Street next to Camilla's house.
Yeah. Now, you didn't go into Camilla's house?
I did.
How was that?
I really didn't like it.
Shelters are tough.
They are extraordinarily tough.
And I hear that's one of the better ones.
And you know what? It's gorgeous. It's giant and it's gorgeous, and they will put you through school and pay for your schooling, and then they will give you certification and job place you. So that's why I was trying to get in there.
Right.
I was trying to get into hospitality and go through them.
But it didn't work for you?
No. Oddly about them, they're a predominantly male shelter. It's very hard to get in if you're female, and it's very hard to stay.
Right.
They had about 6 beds for women, and they would come to other places too. Here at the library, they have caseworkers who will place you into Camilla's if you need a bed.
Right.
So
But
by the time by the time they make it over to the people who are waiting in line to get into Camilla's, they may have already filled 6 beds. It can only take one of you. So there wasn't space for women. There wasn't space for people who were still trying to work either.
Yeah.
I got there, and it's a strange procedure, the way that they do things.
Yeah, another jet. Yeah, what people don't understand is often shelters for working homeless are not conducive because they have certain hours. And people say the rules. Everybody got to go by rules, but some of the rules in shelters are ridiculous.
They are. Not only the rules, but I was in and out of Chapman. They have a check-in process that requires you to be up and under a bridge at 4 a.m. so someone can make a list of who's out there, first come, first serve. Then police arrive about 11, and you have to get out there early as possible because you want to make sure that if you're first.
It's every day you have to. Oh gosh.
Yes. So every day you have to. So even if you get inside, At 6 a.m., they're going to wake you up, and you have to come back out,
They
go back under the
kick you out
bridge,
during the
and do it
day.
again. Yes, they kick you 8 a.m.
That's horrible.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
So they wake you up. It's time to go at 6. You take everything with you.
Yeah.
You're back under the bridge. You're trying to be the first in line
Yeah.
to get back on this list.
So how do you survive out here?
Because Miami is a wonderful place. The outreach here is incredible. I've never seen.
Well, wait. I got to stop you on that, because if the outreach, and I know they're doing the best they can, if they're incredible, you'd be in housing.
But that's not their area. They can come out here and they can help you, and they can clothe you, and they can feed you, and they can tell you where shelters are, and they can take you wherever you need to go.
Yeah.
They can pray with you. They can do all the things like that, but put you in a house, because shelter is a different
Right, because there is no
office.
housing.
Right.
So I've always said that, you know.
And they understand that. That's why they're so helpful.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. We need to give outreach the tools that they can solve
That
homelessness.
would be
Right, because when I was, luckily once in a while we'd have granola bars and we'd have water, but that was it. We didn't have anything to help
to actually help next step you.
Yeah.
Yes, and that would be a beautiful, beautiful thing. That just spawned like a million happy thoughts.
get you off the street.
And then no one really knows what's going on except the people who are doing outreach. You might be Section 8. I was talking to a lady who's doing outreach, and she was telling me we're making advancements towards this, we're making advancements towards that. We're making lists ourselves, and now Section 8 is asking people who are doing outreach for their opinion, and that's what they need to do, because she said a lady has been trying 2 years and has a Section 8 voucher, but is having difficulty with her record. Yeah. So I'm like, why wouldn't Section 8 already be aware? If you signed up for it, why wouldn't they be aware of your...
So that's a huge issue. So they give you a voucher, but then they leave it up to you, the homeless person, who probably doesn't have a phone, or if they have a phone, it might be charged, or, they don't have the money for access. You don't have a car, maybe you don't have a bus pass, and it's up to you to
literally
find
my
the
story
landlord.
Literally my story.
So you have a voucher?
Literally. No, I want to get a voucher, but everything but the voucher is my story, because I don't have a phone. You want me to go find a place that's affordable for me. I'm supposed to work. I have bags. I can't take them in anywhere and get hired. So I have all these obstacles that you're placing upon me to be responsible
so you
for.
Need a place to stay.
Yes, first and foremost, primarily.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
Oh my goodness. Camilla's is so large that they could take everybody that's out here and house them in there. I wish
that's your wish?
Yeah, I wish that they would take, because we're not doing background checks, we're not doing anything. So if you're not going to do that, then put them in.
Wish number 1 is if the shelter was able to take everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Take everybody.
Wish number 2?
Section 8, I wish that they would verify people based upon their criminal record and their drug history. Like, I have a clean record, so take me. I see people go in and out. They're still on drugs. They're not taking care of their children. DFAX in their home, and not to be a jerk.
So everybody deserves housing.
It's true.
I think everybody deserves housing.
That's absolutely true.
And how do you get sober when you're going to the bathroom behind a dumpster in a McDonald's parking lot?
I can do it. So I feel like, I don't know. Yeah. And I feel like that's what motivates me, is the fact that I want to be able to go somewhere else, and I want to, when the opportunity comes, I want it.
And wish number 3.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That people could help each other instead of being depressed alone. That when they feel depressed alone and they want to drink or they want to do drugs, turn to the person that's next to you, that's already out here with you, that feels the same way that you do. You're on the same sidewalk in the same position. So talk to each other instead of stealing from each other, instead of harming each other, instead of causing all these conflicts intravenously. Let's help each other, so we can be easier for other people to help us. They don't know how to approach us when we're fighting and we're drinking and we're high.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stressors. I mean, I don't even know how you sleep out here with this heat.
That's a huge stress. It's impossible.
It's going to be 100 degrees
today. It's impossible. And then, what? Things that you don't notice, when it's cold and when it's hot. And when you're out here and you're sleeping on sidewalks, the temperature stays in the pavement.
Oh yeah.
You will either freeze on concrete or boil on concrete.
Yep.
And its environment is huge.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yep.
It sucks.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
No problem. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.